We're joined now by Paul Arkwright, the British High Commissioner to Nigeria. Many thanks for joining us this morning on TVC Breakfast. Good to have you. Really, how would you describe Nigeria-British relations as of today?
Well, good morning. It's great to be here. Thank you very much for the invitation to appear on the show. I would say the UK-Nigeria relationship is in extremely good health. You've already mentioned the historical relationship, and that's something which we attach a huge amount of importance to. But we're also looking at a modern relationship, and a relationship between, really a partnership between two equal and equally proud countries. You know, the United Kingdom has been a friend of Nigeria for many, many years and will continue to do so. And what we're doing is obviously helping President Buhari, supporting him and his agenda, and doing that through a whole range of interventions, through helping with security, including training the military who are going up to fight Boko Haram in the northeast, helping on corruption, the President's agenda on anti-corruption. And on that, he will be going to London next week for an anti-corruption summit, which will be an important opportunity for him to explain what is happening here in Nigeria, and to hear more about the UK support for that agenda. And of course on the economy. This is an economy which has been very much based on reliance on oil and gas, a single product, if you like, and we're supporting the President in his diversification of the economy. So it's a long established and historical relationship, but it's also a modern one, and we're looking forward to continuing that and strengthening it.
All right, talking about the economy, you see that Nigeria is expanding her frontiers to China. Now, how comfortable or otherwise is the UK about that move?
Well, we're fine with that. I mean, China is a partner of the United Kingdom in the same way that China is a partner of Nigeria. It's quite right that the President should expand his economic relations. We don't want to have a sort of unique economic relationship with Nigeria. It's important that the President, indeed the government here, looks to alternative sources of investment. But what I'm also saying is that the UK is an important source of investment, and that diversifying those sources of investment, just in the same way that he wants to diversify the economy, is obviously an important part of that. So that's what part of my job is about. It's about building those business links. It's about helping to create the business opportunities so that British companies can come in here and create jobs, create employment, and invest here in Nigeria to help in a very difficult period of economic difficulty.
Okay, all right. The British pledged to help Nigeria in the fight against the Boko Haram, the fight in the insurgency going on right now in the northeast. And don't forget, the Chibok girls haven't been found.
Yes, it's a long time. I met on the second anniversary of the kidnapping of Chibok girls. I met the Bring Back Our Girls group. I met some of the parents. I talked to them. It's a tragedy indeed, and the United Kingdom, as we did at the beginning, continues to do what we can to help the Nigerians, the Nigerian military, in their attempts to rescue the girls. It's very important. It's something which, in some ways, is a symbol of the tragedy of the northeast and the Boko Haram terrorism. We're doing what we can. I mentioned our support for the military. We're seeing what we can do to help find the girls as well. And we will continue to do that.
All right. Now, can you give us a picture of the future, the prospects between the economic relations, how robust things are going to be between Nigeria and the UK, especially now that there has been agreements in the stock exchange tradings between Nigeria and the UK and things like that? What are the prospects for the relations between Nigeria and the UK in the coming years?
I think the prospects on the economic side are really in line with what the President is saying, how he wants to diversify the economy. If you look at agriculture, that's an area where we have a lot of expertise. We have a thriving agricultural sector in the United Kingdom. How can we help Nigeria not just feed itself and the population here in Nigeria, but also export goods, export agricultural products, so that they can earn foreign currency, foreign exchange. So that's one area where we're helping. We're looking at the power generation. One of the big issues here in Nigeria is about power and the lack of power, and economic diversification, and the prosperity of the country can't really thrive without that power. So we're looking at British companies who are involved in the power sector. That's important. Not to forget oil and gas, which will remain a highly important sector of the economy. And one other area I'd like to mention is the creative arts. I've spent a day this week in Abuja with the British Council, with Alhaji Lai Mohammed, the Information and Culture Minister here, talking about how we can support the creative arts industry. In the UK, that's a huge part of our economy. Over £70 billion contributed to the UK economy. And here in Nigeria, I think that's an area that can really take off, that can really thrive. Not just Nollywood, but other areas as well. So again, that's another area of economic prosperity where I think the UK can make a really significant contribution.
All right. Paul, the Queen has turned 90. How would you describe her?
Wow, yeah, 90. It's pretty amazing, isn't it, really? How would I describe her? Well, I have met her a couple of times, actually. She's charming, she's humble, she is incredibly hardworking, resilient. There's a sense of devotion to duty, which I think is an example to us all. You know, at 90, as you rightly say, she was 90 last week. At 90, she's still working every day. She's still dealing with her correspondence. She's still visiting places in the UK and overseas. As you may know, as your viewers may know, she's been to Nigeria twice. Once in 1956 when she was a young queen. It's 60 years since that trip. She was in Kano, Kaduna and Lagos. She came back in 2003 and she was here for the Commonwealth Heads of Government meeting with President Obasanjo. And again, went on a tour of places in Nigeria. And she's, of course, head of the Commonwealth. And Nigeria is a proud Commonwealth country. She is head of that organisation, of which we are all proud. So there are lots of links between the Queen and Nigeria. She doesn't show any signs of slowing down. Quite a remarkable lady. The Prince Philip, the Duke of Edinburgh, another remarkable person. They are quite an extraordinary couple. We're very proud of them, and I know they're very popular here in Nigeria. So one of the things we're doing to help celebrate that 90th is a Queen's birthday party, which I will be hosting this evening at my residence here in Abuja. We've got a series of photographs of the Queen through the years, including her visits here in 2003 and in 1956. We've got people coming from all over Nigeria, government ministers. We've got various celebrities coming. And we're really looking forward to what will be an excellent party.
All right.
Something where I think all of us can be proud, because she really is a role model for everyone.
All right. Now, on behalf of the team here at TVC Breakfast, we wish the Queen a happy birthday.
And many more years to come.